There's a number of theories floating around regarding the origins of Rey from Star Wars The Force Awakens. And whilst there's elements of validity to all of them, I feel there's only one actual answer. Now, I don't know what that answer is, so I'm just going to take a stab in the dark and talk about where I believe she could be from. I think there's a very good chance that she's a Kenobi, as in Obi-Wan Kenobi, as in I have the high ground, don't try it, or I'll cut your bloody legs off, Obi-Wan Kenobi. Look at this guy, rolling around like an angry sack of sawdust with a dumb haircut. On just the surface level, their outfits aren't dissimilar, right down to the boots. Yes, her design is heavily based on a piece of 1970s Ralph McQuarrie concept art, but there's definite similarities present. Not that that necessarily means anything, but the parallels don't end there. The character of Rey is highly proficient in the use of the Jedi mind trick, something Obi-Wan Kenobi specialized in.
You don't need to see his identification.
We don't need to see his identification.
Proving to be even more effective at it than his master, Qui-Gon Jinn.
Credits will do fine.
No, they won't.
Credits will do fine.
No, they won't.
But to be fair, Qui-Gon was the worst Jedi. He'll train a child psychopath no matter what terrible visions of the future everyone has. And you just need to look at scenes like the one where Rey is hiding out on Starkiller Base, mirroring Obi-Wan when he was deactivating the tractor beam. The next movie looks to be her being trained up by Luke Skywalker. And it would be fitting that Luke trains the granddaughter of the man whom of which trained him. And by trained, I mean got him to swing a laser sword at a floating ball and then just handballed him off to someone else. Rey and Kylo Ren's relationship could be made all the more interesting if it reflected that of their grandfathers, with Rey even leaving him scarred and battered after their last encounter. It's very possible that during Obi-Wan's exile, not dissimilar to how Rey was left stranded, he fathered a child who then went on to have Rey about a decade after Return of the Jedi. If this did happen, Luke would be privy to this information, because canonically, he is in possession of Obi-Wan's journal. It's unclear the exact age gap between Rey and Kylo, but it's roughly a decade, and perhaps it was intended that she trained with Luke, and then with word of the new Jedi massacre, she was hidden on Jakku, which seemed like the safest option available. Daisy Ridley has also previously stated in an interview that her solitude is a big clue in terms of who she is. Now, a number of Jedi have gone into hiding over the years, including Luke, but at this point, Obi-Wan is probably the most well known. Not to mention, he even appears in The Force Awakens, in Rey's vision, which links the two of them. The combined vocals of Ewan McGregor and Alec Guinness had him saying the line, "Rey, these are your first steps," which is very similar to something he once said to Luke.
You've taken your first step into a larger world.
There were other voices present in that scene, including Yoda and Luke screaming no, so that doesn't necessarily mean anything, but if she was a Skywalker, you'd think Anakin's voice would also be heard. There are also rumors of an Obi-Wan Solo movie that takes place between episodes 3 and 4. If it is revealed that she is Rey Kenobi in episode 8, that would help generate interest in that spin-off film, the same way that people might be more interested in a young Han Solo film now that he's dead Han Solo. At this point, given the information we have, I think this is the most likely theory. But like I said, there are a number of other valid ideas, including that she's Han and Leia's daughter, that she was born of Darth Vader's DNA, cloning technology still exists in this universe, so that is possible, that she's a relation of the Emperor, a virgin birth like Anakin was, or perhaps even a descendant of any of the Jedi that survived Order 66. A very popular theory is that she's Luke's daughter, who's been mind-wiped, which could explain her strong use of the Force and connection to the Skywalker lightsaber. But you gotta remember that Obi-Wan Kenobi was also in possession of that weapon for 30 years, making Anakin and Luke not the only ones with a link to it. In fact, he had it longer than both of them combined, and was lucky enough not to have any limbs taken off whilst holding it. Skywalkers, bad at keeping hands. Thanks everyone. Now if you are interested, feel free to subscribe to check out some of my other videos, including the two that you see there. Or even take a look at my movie/TV show/comic podcast, The Weekly Planet. All of that stuff mentioned is linked right there and below. Question though, who do you think Rey's parents are? If you have any thoughts, I'd love to hear any and all theories below in the comments. That'd be great. Alright, thanks everyone. Take care.